Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Valuing Impacts to Make Better Decisions. My name is Katie Piniella. I'm the COO of the International Foundation for Valuing Impacts. On behalf of IFVI, GSG Impact, and the Impact Task Force, we are so grateful that you've all taken time to be with us today. Today, we're going to hear from numerous speakers about the state of impact accounting, the promise we believe it holds, and the work that's still to come. We also want to hear from you, so please connect with us after the event, and we look forward to continuing this conversation. There is no break in today's agenda. Please do what you need to do to keep yourself comfortable, help yourself to coffee and tea. There are still some seats for those of you coming in. And now it's my honor to introduce our first two speakers, Sir Ronald Cohen, Chair of the IFVI Board of Directors, founder of GSG Impact, and George Seraphim, the Charles M. Williams Professor of Business Administration at Harvard Business School, former faculty lead of the Impact Weighted Accounts Project, and chair of the IFVI Valuation Technical and Practitioner Committee. Ronnie and George.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. You are the vanguard of the impact revolution. We're focusing on climate change. It's Climate Week. I'm sure many of you are also the vanguard of the climate change revolution. And today is a historic event, and I'm not given to exaggeration. I come from the venture capital and private equity business. We're very realistic. I view this I view this in a historic perspective, and if I may, I'd like to take you back 90 years to 1933 and 34, when after the great crash of '29, investors sat up and realized they had been investing in companies without understanding what profits they were making. Because every company at that time could pick its own accounting principles, and there were no auditors to verify the numbers. Well, today, we have $30 to $40 trillion of investor money seeking impact in the form of ESG or whatever else you would like to call it. It's getting called quite a lot of rude names today, who want to deliver impact and have no idea what impact they're creating. And today, we show you the result of 5 years' work, as Katie was saying, at the Impact Weighted Accounts Initiative at Harvard Business School, which George and I established 5 years ago, and the IFVI. George and I knew each other a bit at Harvard Business School, but coming out of a Dean's Board Advisors meeting, where we'd both participated, I collared George and I asked him, he's a professor of finance and accounting, you will hear him, a brilliant light in his field. I asked George, do you think we can bring impact into financial analysis and the valuation of companies? And he said to me, absolutely. And so I said, let's do it. He mentions it in his book, so it is right. And here we are, 5 years later, 3 years of the Impact Weighted Accounts Initiative, which not only created methodologies for valuing impacts to bring them into financial analysis, because without that valuation, tons of carbon, liters of water, percentages of diversity can't be integrated into financial analysis. And after 3 years of publishing methodologies, but also the impacts of 10,000 companies going back in time, we realized that we needed now to standardize the valuation of impacts. And today is the first major step in that direction. Today, today you are going to see our team present how we have arrived at the valuation of impacts, taking into account differences across 268 different locations across the world. And in the same way that in 1933 and 34, when investors realized that they needed gap accounting and auditors, we believe that today we'll begin to persuade that we need impact accounting and auditors of impact. Now, the world is being driven to change as a result of climate challenges and social challenges that are endangering the cohesion of our societies and our countries. There are three major forces driving the change. The first one's obvious to us all. It's a change in values among young people initially who didn't want to buy the products of companies creating harm or to work for them. It's a combination of that with financial markets that have driven 30 trillion plus of ESG to try to achieve impact, and technology, which is taking leaps and bounds in the direction of being able to deliver impact globally in ways humanity could never previously do. Humanity could never contemplate educating 1 million children at the same time, or 1 million adults, in a customized way across the whole globe at the same time. And so the confluence of this change in values and these leaps in technology is coming together with what transformed financial markets previously with gap accounting, measurement, verification of the impacts created by companies and by the investors who invest in them. The GSG Impact was created as a result of the G8 Impact Investment Task Force, which I had the honor of chairing in 2013-14. At that time, we were in 8 countries. Today, we're in 44 countries with task forces in another 15. The GSG has brilliant children. One of them is the International Foundation for Valuing Impacts, and its predecessor, the Impact Weighted Accounts Initiative. I welcome Lynn Rothschild, who leads the Alliance for Inclusive Capitalism. Come and have a seat. That's what, there we go. Thank you. And we find I'm just relating something you heard at our meeting yesterday, so you didn't miss anything important. And we find ourselves, as I said, the GSG, with 3 brilliant children. The impact world needed, and which we took the opportunity to create. And Nick Hurd and many of the leaders of the GSG are here today, and you're going to hear from them. The first, chronologically, was the Education Outcomes Fund, which is using impact approaches to improve education across the world. The second one was the G7 Impact Task Force, which Nick chairs, which has played such an important role in bringing cohesion to the whole impact movement globally. And the third is the International Foundation for Valuing Impacts, whose great mind is that of George Seraphim, whom I now invite to speak.